Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Justin Clark here. It is morning here, 8:30 a.m. East Coast time in the U.S., and we're going to take a look at these crypto markets. In particular, we're going to look at Bitcoin here, just see what's going on with that. And we do these analysis almost daily, although I won't be doing one tomorrow. And Happy New Year to everybody. So I won't be doing one tomorrow because it's going to be New Year's Day. You can just take the morning off. But we do this analysis for members of iCoinPro so that we can kind of keep an eye on where Bitcoin is and when things are potentially going to move a bit more in the market, and try and do our best to have some idea of what's going to happen next. Although, again, we are not trying to give investment advice here with these. We're not trying to predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin. I never know. I take it one day at a time. The way that we trade with our system is completely reactionary. So we just react when it happens. Otherwise, we don't know what's going to happen. All right. Good morning, Mike. Welcome. So what I'm going to do is look at Bitcoin, see what's going on. We're going to use a particular chart setup. But before I get into that, if you would like market analysis like this to your inbox or you push to your smartphone, pretty much on the daily, you can give me a follow on Facebook or on x.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for those who want to learn how to trade, we do have a free boot camp you can do. You can just get back with the person who introduced you to iCoinPro or shared this video with you, or just shoot an email to support@icoinpro.com. They'll be happy to help you out. All right, let's dig right into this here this morning. So yesterday, Bitcoin, it was tumbling. We're getting a little relief rally today. So we're going to take a look at that. For those who are members of iCoinPro, if you click on my iCoinPro training and go to Micro Profit System Part 3, you can do this training on this chart setup that I'm using here pretty much at any time. It's called the MA momentum. It means moving average momentum. So you click on that, and it's just about 40 minutes. I'll teach you how to use this chart setup. Good morning, Pamela from Windy, UK. Welcome, welcome. All right, so when I come over here, this is our iCoinPro trading portal software. Good morning, Doak. Welcome. Happy New Year. And this software is our custom software that we developed for iCoinPro. Nobody else has it. And it does everything that TradingView does and more for our users. It's just absolutely awesome. So in this software, you can go up here and click Load Chart Layout to load up the MA Momentum chart setup. And we're looking at the one-day chart for Bitcoin here. And I'm going to make this full screen. And really quick, I'll just educate everybody on how this chart works. One of the beautiful things about markets is that they don't just go up or down in a straight line. They undulate, right? They have these ups, downs, ups, downs. It's how the market, establishes agreement and battles it out for, control, the buyers and sellers. Okay. So good morning, Dean. Welcome. So what we're looking at here for those who are newer is these green things here and red things here are called candles. They show where the price action is. All right. This chart is called MA momentum. It stands for moving average momentum. And you have this. These are all moving averages. These are calculations of price, all right? And they go back in time, and you don't really need to know how these are calculated. You just need to know how to use it. It's just like a TV, right? You don't need to know how a TV works to watch your favorite show. You just got to turn it on. Good morning, Pony. Welcome. Good to have you here. All right. So anyway, these moving averages, the purple, maroon, yellow, green, etc. When we're looking at this chart, when we are trading above all of these moving averages with the price, okay, that means that we are particularly in a bullish cycle. In particular, if we start to hit this light purple moving average, and keep staying above it, that is very, very positive, right? You can see that here. That's kind of like the bull momentum maker. On the flip side, if we are stuck under all of these moving averages, like you can see here, and we got stuck under this light purple one, okay, and continue to trade underneath, we are potentially bearish, right, and heading downward, and almost definitely not in a bull market once we're stuck under them. And that's why this is so helpful. I mean, could you imagine? I'm sure some of you that have been around, Elise, good morning, and thought we were just going to go back up and didn't have this chart set up to know that it's probably going to take a while, right, until the market can turn around. This chart setup is just gold, and it gives you an idea of, you know, where the market is overall potentially. All right, so where are we right now? Well, right now we have been we lost this light purple moving average here, okay, which is not awesome. We've been dealing with, there was what's called bearish divergence, which means the price was going up and this indicator here called the MACD was going down. So that's not good. The price was creeping up and this was going down. That indicates that there was like, it was running out of steam basically on this run. Then it opened up and now we're heading straight down and we're pretty much wide open. We're heading into this red and green thing called the histogram. We've had many, many, many days of negative, you know, momentum here. And we, you know, right now are trying to hold on to this last moving average right here, which is sitting around 90, about 93 is where this is. And we're getting sandwiched in between these two. We did get a little bounce here off of it, but now we've run back into the light purple moving average, which is now acting as resistance, and we're having difficulty getting above it. And we are getting stuck, it's squeezed. And you can tell the whole market is moving kind of slow. You know, things are very uncertain in this. So we're not getting definitive movement either up or down. Things are kind of tightening up. So the market's kind of coiling up right now and potentially getting ready to do something, a move potentially. Good morning, JT. Welcome. South Africa in the house. And Eggert, welcome. Oh yeah, Happy New Year. And congrats on getting on live. So again, you know, that's just where we're at. Now, we need to get up and over these moving averages here and start trading above them for the buyers probably to be happy or feel confident. But if we can't get over these right now, then we're probably going to need to come back and retest this area, this kind of 90 to 92K area. And with this MACD going this way and this squeezing in, these are called Bollinger Bands here. These are squeezing in. We're setting up for potential volatility. Ultimately, when that's going to happen, I do not know. Okay, this is, you take these things one day at a time. But overall, something could happen. We could get squeezed and kind of trade sideways here and then eventually pop above these or pop below these potentially. You can also see that the overall volume of the market is lowering. Okay, when the volume's going down, that's indicating uncertainty. People are waiting to see before they make a move. They either buy or sell. So yeah, it's kind of where we are. So it might be a little slow going here the next couple of days. Again, we have the New Year holiday too, so that could be slow going. Traders are going to be off. So we'll just have to see here for the next couple of days. But we really want to pay close attention to roller coastering on any trades that we're doing. And I'm going to talk about that in a second here to really make sure a coin is getting to a point where it's going up and down and undulating well so we can make our micro profits and it doesn't take too long or you don't get too, you know, get stuck in a trade. Dean asked, is this similar to 12 months ago? If we go back, oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're referring obviously to here near the start of the year. This is pretty darn similar. Coming across, and it, you know, again, it's a good point because markets often they're not exact, but they do like to rhyme sometimes, if that makes sense. This is kind of similar. The setup, losing the light purple moving average, coming down, and then it got a good bounce off of the lower Bollinger Band and this green moving average. We have obviously more movement potential here. This green moving average is sitting a lot lower percentage wise. It's down about 13% from where we currently are. So whereas back here it was much where were we, squishier, so to speak. Where did I just lost it? Here it is. So from that squishy part, it was only 10% down, a little bit less. I keep doing that. So yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, the real key is this is kind of like we're getting stuck under it, right? That moving average. And until we conquer that and get above that, there's just potential that we're just going to keep undulating downward. And eventually, if we keep doing it enough, we could see a bigger drop, down as people get scared or panic sell or, what have you. So that's kind of where we are. So I think the key levels here, obviously 90K for sure. We got to hold on to that. We have reclaimed 95. So now we got to get back above and probably get up or attempt to hit 100K and get above that. Failing getting through these moving averages here at 96, 97, not good. If we do even get above them and then can't get above 100K, not good, right? So there's a lot of like resistance in this area right now with these kind of converging. So we're gonna have to see. But I feel like with the lowered volume and everything like that we're getting into a situation where we could be coiling up a bit. And again, it might happen today, it might happen in 3 days, it might happen this week, but something could be setting up for something that's a bit more dramatic since we're tightening up across the boards. All the altcoins, everything are kind of tightening up. So we will have to see. So 90K, we got to hold on to 95 to try to take out these moving averages. Then 100K is the next prize. And on the downside is 90K. But we're still just not out of the woods of this negative bearish momentum right now at all. I wouldn't say bearish, but a more significant retrace. We could see just continuation here if we can't get up and above, these moving averages. Then the market's going to go, man, we are really stuck under this thing. And then some more people are going to want to sell, etc. This could be a bounce point at 87, this area, around there. And then of course we have this 81. And if the market is getting a bit bearish, we could see a dramatic drop at some point, down to one of these moving averages. Could happen. You never know. All right. So the one thing that I do want to take a look at is the longs and shorts. Oh, let me see here. Hold on one second. Let me move and see. All right. We're going to have to pull that data from a different source. I'll have to get that set up. We're actually setting up our own tool for that. So it looks like that one's, I did not know that was going to be going this morning. So we will be, I'll take a look at those in a little bit. They got very high yesterday. They were like 67.4% long people. So they were, a lot of people are betting that Bitcoin's going up with leverage. All right. And what that means is that they are doing a risky trading style where they can blow out their accounts with that leverage. They're borrowing money, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So it's very, very risky. So we'll, again, when you have the market get that confident in one direction, it's not good. A lot of times the market can go the other way. And if that goes over 70%, then we could really be setting up for something pretty crazy. So we'll just have to see how that shapes up. But right now we're still under that. So we're not quite at the 70% and above mark. But if we do creep up there and then this price keeps creeping lower and lower, we could be setting up for what's called a long squeeze, which is where a lot of people who are all leveraged and they're borrowing money and they're using this risky trading stuff, and they're betting the price is going up. And if they don't, they can get, liquidated. They can blow out their accounts. If we keep slipping lower and those keep going higher, eventually there's a critical point where we hit a magic price and then they all just start to get liquidated and the price of Bitcoin can drop more dramatically. All right, last thing we're going to do is just go over here and we're going to take a look at the Buddy Coin Crawler, our software, to see what's potentially good, what's potentially still moving pretty well. The ones that we're looking at are AGLD. And again, we want to really make sure that we're getting some nice recoveries on these dips here. Here we go. This one has a good example. So this got a good dip sequence. We got a nice recovery here of 4.57% and then came down and got some more dips and then got a nice recovery of 6%. Here, we hardly got any recovery, 1.48%. Not good. Very, very timid. And then it did manage to squeak up. But once we get to this green middle line, the SMA, smooth moving average is what that stands for, we reset our dip count. That is covered in resistance levels and ladder buying. So it did do 1, 2, 3 dips. It went up and touched the SMA. This would be dip 1 of a new dip count. Okay. This is not dip 4 here. This is dip 1, because once we get up to the SMA, that trade is over and we need to start our count over again. All right. Same thing here. It went up, touched there, and then went into a new dip sequence. So we want to really make sure we have some nice recovery on these dips here at a 3% and then went higher on the dips. On the flip side, let me pull up this move. Move went into, and I actually traded this yesterday and ended up just getting out as a break even, kind of a little over break even trade. But it was one of those ones where it was just slightly recovering. And I might have jumped the gun here a little bit. It only had a 4% spread here when I entered the trade. And when you only have this light, very small recoveries on the dips, then you can anticipate that it will potentially go into more of a dump or a bigger spread, which it did. It came down and gave a 6% spread, but then it still didn't have that big of a recovery even here. So it ended up being one of those longer trades. I had to ladder buy in here and then ladder buy in this 1, 2, 3 dip sequence. Even though the spread was small, it was down to where I wanted it. And then when it did revert, then I got out of the trade. But definitely a much, much longer trade than my normal trades. But it was due to that lack of good recovery there. Just made it take a bit longer. So we want to check the coin, make sure that it's doing good recoveries and stuff like that. So now we're getting down to where it went, okay, we hit this level, we like it, now we're going to buy. Okay, so that was good. So that could become better as far as trading. It's getting a little noisier here now on this chart. So AGLD and Move are the two. But again, both of these, with the overall setup of Bitcoin, everything is a bit soggy right now with this Bitcoin setup. So things are not moving up and down super, super well. You just got to really, really take your time and check, the chart. And if it does have a small recovery, maybe anticipate that's all you're going to get out of the trade right now is a 1% recovery. It's a 0.5%, 1% trade. Here we did finally get a 2% recovery. And then it just went into another dip sequence, but then recovered. So anyway, just follow the system though. That's what you do. You just do your ladder buying and you are good to go. All right, that is everything that I have this morning. Again, if you want to have, good morning, Deanna, welcome. If you want market analysis like this into your inbox, taking a look at these crazy crypto markets, then follow me on Facebook or on x.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Happy New Year to you too, and Happy New Year to everybody. And if you do want to learn how to trade, you can do our free boot camp. It takes you about 40 minutes. You can literally do it right after you get off of here. Just get back with the person who introduced you to iCoinPro or shared this video with you. And they'll be more than happy to hook you up with that. And if you don't have anybody who did introduce you or shared this with you, you can just go to support@icoinpro.com. All right, everybody, have a happy new year. I know we are off to tomorrow night because of the New Year holiday. We'll be back next Wednesday night with our weekly presentations that we do. And we will still be doing the social media giveaway this Friday, so that will be happening. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and a very happy new year. And I will be seeing everybody in the new year, but not tomorrow. I'm not planning to do a market analysis tomorrow morning. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye. And have a great rest of the day and have a safe and happy new year and a prosperous new year for all of you who are iCoinPro traders. Bye-bye, everybody.